Assalamu alaikum. Here is Sumbal Arif, and today we will discuss the major difference between the bacteria and the viruses. So let's have a look over this presented video. Let's start with the basic definitions. Bacteria are microscopic living organisms, whereas viruses are non-living and they play a role as an infective agent that consists of a nucleic acid molecule and is protected by a protein coat. Bacteria cannot be seen with the naked eye and can only be seen with a light microscope, whereas viruses are more smaller than bacteria and they can be visible only under the electron microscope. What is the major difference between a light microscope and an electron microscope? In an electron microscope, we use a beam of electrons to magnify the image of an object, while light microscope uses the rays of the visible light. I would like to tell you here about the host organism. What is a host organism? It can be an animal or a plant that nourishes and supports a parasite. Parasite is the one which benefits themselves while harming the others. Now come to the slide. Here bacteria do not need a host organism for its reproduction, to replicate, etc. Whereas viruses need a host to replicate and to spread inside its host. About cell wall, bacteria has a cell wall which is made up of peptidoglycan and lipopolysaccharide. What is peptidoglycan and lipopolysaccharides? These are the polymers of the amino acids which strengthens and maintain the bacterial cell wall. On the other hand, the viruses has a protein coat instead of cell wall. They do not have cell wall. Is bacteria a living organism or not? Think about it. And the answer is yes. Bacteria is a living organism. Bacteria is a unicellular and has a single chromosome. Bacteria can either be beneficial or harmful both. On the other hand, viruses do not have cells. Instead, they have strands of DNA and RNA. And it can be seen that viruses are usually harmful except in genetic engineering. Bacteria cause localized infections. And on the other hand, viruses cause systemic infection. Let me tell you the difference between the localized infection and systemic infection. Localized infection, as the name indicates, that it affects only one part of the body or an organ, such as pimples, food poisoning, etc. Whereas systemic infections affecting the entire body rather than a single organ or a body part. For example, high blood pressure affect the whole body, flu, AIDS, influenza. These are all examples of the systemic infections. Let's discuss how to prevent these bacteria and viruses. Bacterial infections can be prevented by antibiotics, whereas viruses can spread and replicate and can only be prevented by vaccines. Why? Because vaccines contain the same germs that cause that disease. For example, you can say measles vaccine contains the measles virus. How it works? Vaccine stimulates our immune system to produce antibodies, and antibodies develop immunity to that disease. Usually, medicines like antibiotics cure or treat that disease, specific disease, whereas the vaccine prevents the disease. Hope you like the video. Thank you.